Hi, hello, and this is Pradeep, and you're watching Chennaikaaran YouTube channel. I wish you all a very happy and prosperous 2021. How are you all? How have you been? So, right by this time, this what I'm going to say might be very cliched, but please do hear me out. I know 2020 had been a very bad year for most of us, but I hope we all survived the bad year and we just come to the new year, and let's hope this new year we make use of this new year to its best, and let's make sure that each and every day is a much better day for us. So that being said, this video must have come a little earlier, but I'm extremely sorry that it's coming out late. So this video is nothing but a year roundup of 2022 of whatever the movies and TV shows and the books I've read. So I managed to watch around 105 movies last year, which is a big number for me, owing to my work, my podcast, and the YouTube channel. Watching 105 movies is something really big for me as a personally. And in that, I managed to watch somewhere around very few, somewhere around 25 to 26 movies which released last year, that is in 2020. And the first set of movies are going to be about those movies, right? So the first movie I saw for the year was Psycho. It's a Tamil movie directed by Mishkin. I personally loved that movie, even though the movie got some mixed reviews. This one, I found it very interesting because this is a different Psycho movie which I've seen. Yes, there are a lot of plot holes. Barring that, overall the movie really worked for me, and the movie has a lot of gory scenes. So if you are planning to watch the movie with kids, please don't do that. So that is my humble suggestion, because when I went to the theater, there were a lot of small kids who were brought into the theater, even though it was A certified. That is something which parents has to be mindful about. So if it is something A certified, people at least make sure that you do not bring the kids to the theater. So that is one thing which I want to point out, and this has been happening for a very long time, but I think this is time we address this particular issue. And the second movie I watched in theater was, I saw a couple of movies, but the second movie which I saw in theater and which I loved was again a Tamil movie, which is Kannum Kannum Kollaiyadithal. It was an interesting and unique heist movie, coming from Tamil, because we haven't had much of, our Tamil directors haven't had much of success, especially in, directing or coming out with good heist stories. I think Rajachandram was one heist movie which really worked out. But apart from that, I think Kannum Kannum Kollaiyadithal was a much better heist movie, I would say, compared to anyone. And the proportion of love, comedy, action, everything come up in a very different way. That is, not in a different way, but everything come as a full circle, and it gives us, it came out as a proper masala movie. So that made me really enjoy this movie. And the third movie is Oh My Kadavule. Unfortunately, I was unable to catch this movie on theater, but when it was released on OTT platform, after raving reviews about the movie on theaters, I really want to watch it. So, Oh My Kadavule was another fantastic film which we got in 2020. There was a lot of gap. There is a vacuum with regards to rom-coms, because there have been a long list of horror comedy movies for the last couple of years, but we haven't had a proper rom-com movie. No, come on, we cannot make Gautam Menon's movie as rom-coms, but this definitely checks out all the boxes of a rom-com. And not only that, the movie also takes an interesting turn of events. So that really kept me hooked throughout the movie. So that way, Oh My Kadavale is one big, one big great movie, a great rom-com movie of 2020. So we all know one smashing hit, amazing movie which came from a big star last year in Tamil was Surarai Potre, and I really enjoyed the movie. Overall, the movie worked out for me, even though we cannot call this movie as a biopic, but it is a culmination of true events taken from single source. So that is what I would like to call this movie. It worked out in all fronts for me. So I really do not have any much complaints. But if you want to read the detailed review of the movie, I'll leave the link here or in the description. You can check it out there. While we are talking about the smashing hit, a big star movie of Tamil, I think we should also talk about the big star movie in Telugu, which is Ala Vaikuntapuramalo. I'm not sure whether this movie was, yes, the movie was a hit when it was released in theaters for Sankranti, but when the movie was released in OTT platform and when everyone were at homes and got a chance to watch this movie, I think it really took up a lot of, global reach, this movie, especially the songs. But, there were few cringy elements in the movie, especially, the hero ogling at the thighs of the heroine. I think Telugu cinema should come out of these cringy elements because the world is moving forward so that is one bad thing, and there are few other cringy elements in the movie. But barring that, Ala Vaikuntapuramalo is a wholesome entertainment, wholesome masala movie. The next movie is Hit, the First Case. It has Vishwak Sen in the lead. I think he's been choosing some interesting scripts for a very long time, and Hit is the proper procedural drama. And considering Telugu cinema, they didn't indulge in a lot of unwanted comedy or unwanted songs. Everything was placed very well, is what I felt. And the climax kind of gave me the Tamil movie Kalidas vibe. But so it must be a coincidence because the stories are completely different, but the end was something unexpected. It is not a complaint, but it is something interesting. You must look out for this movie. I think the movie is streaming on Prime. So talking about big stars again, Malayalam also had one big star movies getting released on OTT platform. Yes, Faghat Fasil. His See You Soon, which came out towards the end of the year, towards the last quarter of the year, took its inspiration from a Hollywood movie Searching, but See You Soon has its own story, has its own characters and its own set of problems, even though it was an inspiration from. So, I would call this a proper lockdown movie, and it rightly deserves so to be called as a proper lockdown movie. While talking about lockdown movie, I'm just having a bad taste of, Tamil film directors, Tamil film anthology, Putham Pudhu Kalai. I really did not like that, but, I'm just mentioning it out. Nothing else. And the last two movies I want to talk are the Hollywood movies. One is Love and Monsters. It is a dystopian movie, but it does not have that grim story of a dystopian movie, but it was a pure fun movie overall. It has lots of monsters, it has lots of message, not message, but it has a lot of fun elements in the movie. It has one cute dog which helps out the hero and everything. So it is an interesting movie, it is a fun movie, and whenever you are down or whenever you are in a mood to watch a fun movie, I think you should definitely check out Love and Monsters. And the last movie which I saw this year, and the last movie which was also released last year, was Soul. It's a Pixar movie, and as a typical Pixar movie goes, it makes you cry, it makes you feel, it also gives you a message. So that is what Soul is all about. The movie is it's very personal for me because I faced something similar to what the protagonist has faced in the movie. So that movie was very personal to me, and I really connected with the movie. And it is available on Disney Hotstar. So please do catch a movie. It is really amazing. If you are someone who loves Pixar movies, I think you will definitely love Soul. Speaking of other movies which did not release in 2020, I've seen, I have some 27 movies with me, and and last year I got a chance to explore a lot of other language movies owing to my podcast, whereas I was introducing different Indian language movies. And apart from 10 different Indian languages, I also managed to watch a couple of Chinese movies, and 3 Spanish movies, and I also managed to watch 3 Indonesian movies, which was really interesting. And that also pushed me to watch more Indonesian movies for this year. So I'm really looking forward to watch more Indonesian movies. There are a lot of them on Netflix. I've also found some interesting titles which I'll be watching, and I'm also planning to write about them on my blog. So if you are someone who reads the blogs, I think you can check out my blog, and I will also leave the link in the description. I'm sorry. So talking about the movies which weren't released last year, but the movies which I loved watching were, one is Ip Man. I think many would have watched it, but it is an interesting kung fu movie. 1917, Silukarpatti, Jogwa, Village Rockstars is an Assamese movie. Parasite, a Korean movie. Memories of Murder, again another Korean movie. My Neighbor Totoro, everyone's favorite Ghibli movie. Baram, a fantastic Tamil movie. It is available on Prime. Please do watch that. No, I don't want to tell anything about the movie. It is kind of in a documentary feel, but it is definitely worth checking out. So do watch Baram movie. It is highly recommended movie from my end. And then The Castle in the Sky, another Studio Ghibli movie, which is again has a fantastic futuristic story. And Studio Ghibli movies are available on Netflix. You can watch those movies there. And Telugu movie Jersey, which I watched for my podcast, and I really loved that. And there is Apparan, which is a Malayalam movie, which is the first movie of Malayalam actor Jairam. It's available on YouTube, and you should definitely check that out. It has an interesting storyline. And next is a Kannada movie, Kavaludari. Malayalam movie Om Shanti Osana. I think the movie released way long back, but somehow only last year I managed to watch that movie. So do catch that on Hotstar. I think it's available on Hotstar. Then Naticharami, a Kannada movie, which deals with an interesting topic. You should check out on Netflix. Then Hami, a Bengali movie. It is a cute little movie. It is streaming on Hotstar. And Killa, a Marathi movie. And Local Kung Fu, again an Assamese movie, which is a fun action movie. It is available on Google. It's available on YouTube. You should definitely check that out. Once after watching the movie, you should also check out the podcast where we have discussed about it, and you can check out the link here or in the description. And next is Hellaro. I think if the movie was released in 2020, I think I would have added this movie in the list on the top. It is such a fantastic Gujarati movie, and it is available on MX Player. So do watch this movie. It is a fantastic movie. You will definitely take away a lot of things from this movie. And the Hollywood movie Truman Show, Magamuni, a Tamil movie. I think Arya gave a fantastic performance after a very long time, and it is from the director Shantakumar. I really enjoyed the movie. Yes, it has some issues, but Magamuni is a fantastic movie which you should watch, and it is streaming on Prime Video, I guess. So you should definitely check that. And there is this Hindi movie called Mathrubhumi, a Nation Without Women, and it is streaming on Sony Live. I mean, do watch this movie. It is highly recommended from my end. And after watching this movie, you can also check out the podcast link here or in the description below. Then, when I think about this movie, it really makes me smile, makes me laugh, because this is one amazing Japanese movie, which is One Cut to the Dead. The movie starts with a zombie apocalypse, but after the first half, you will understand how crazy this movie is, and you will also start thinking, why haven't we tried something like this, something really crazy and funny and weird in Indian cinema? So do check out this movie. And next one is See You Yesterday. It is a Hollywood movie, and it is a time travel sci-fi movie. It is streaming on Netflix, and it is a Netflix original film. I think you should definitely check this out. It has some strong messaging. It talks about, the Black lives, and the movie is completely based on the African American heroes and heroine. So do check this movie out. I think this list would definitely will not end without an Indonesian movie, which there are 3 different Indonesian movies I watched, and this ranks higher on my list, which is The Raid. It is streaming on Amazon Prime, and it is a fantastic action movie, so you should definitely check this out. If at all I have to call one of my favorite Santana movie as a hero, I think this is what I would say, A1. It takes a quirky twist and turn, and it is available on Sun Next app, and this is one really fun movie you should check out. And the last movie on the list is A Call to Spy. It is about spies, and the spies were primarily women, and the movie revolves around women. One interesting thing about this movie is Radhika Apte plays one pivotal role in the movie, and she also is one of the spies, so do check this movie out. So as far as movies are concerned, these are my list of 27 movies which haven't released in 2020. TV shows. So last year I managed to watch a lot of TV shows apart from the movies and the books I've read. And I just want to talk about very few TV shows which I really enjoyed. And starting from Masterchef Australia season 10, I think this is the first Masterchef Australia I'm watching, and I really loved the show and how it was taken, and I really wished something like that happened in India. And surprisingly, there is Masterchef India, which I did not know at all. So yeah, I'm really rooting to watch more Masterchef seasons going forward in the coming years. And there is this fantastic Norwegian show which is called Ragnarok. When someone talks about Ragnarok, many would directly start thinking about Thor Ragnarok movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this Ragnarok is the event which which is part of the Egyptian culture, if I'm not wrong. I'm really sorry, I'm very poor at these things, so please bear with me. So it is a Norwegian show, and it is available on Netflix. It is the official first Norwegian Netflix series. It is just 6 episodes long, and only one season has come out. There are lots of loopholes. There is a big build-up and everything for the show towards the climax, but the climax was not satisfying enough for me personally. But there is something really you can look out for once you reach the first season finale. Another show which I really enjoyed last year was Watchmen, and I would personally call that a direct sequel to the Alan Moore's Watchmen comics. I've also talked about that in detail, and I will leave the link, and you can check out the link here. And there is one interesting show which I really want to talk about is Cobra Kai. It was originally streamed on YouTube, if I'm not wrong. Then right now it is available on Netflix. It is an interesting karate based show. If you are someone who watched the Karate Kid movie, no, not the Jaden Smith Jackie Chan one, but the older Karate Kid movie, this Cobra Kai is the sequel of sorts of the Karate Kid movie, and the primary hero and the villain meets after 30 years after the movie, and the rest of the story starts from there. So the season 3 is released right now, and I'm hearing raving reviews about season 3, so you should definitely check this show on Netflix. And I've also watched some other series, and I'll just leave the names of that. One is The Man in the High Castle. It is a 4-season long TV show which is an Amazon original, and it has an interesting premise. What if, Germany and Japan won the World War II and took over USA? So that forms the story, and add some sci-fi into it, you will get The Man in the High Castle. It is based on a novel of the same name written by Philip K. Dick. I really enjoy this show because it is an very interesting show, and it will keep you hooked throughout. So please do check out this show on Amazon Prime. And another show which I have been following from the time it has released is Better Call Saul. It is a prequel to Breaking Bad, and I think Breaking Bad fans would have already started watching this show. If not, please do watch this show. I mean, even if you are not someone who likes Breaking Bad, I think you will really enjoy watching Better Call Saul. So do check this out on Netflix. I think these are the shows I could think on top of my head. And these are the shows which I really enjoyed watching. Oh yeah, and I forgot one interesting anime which I watched. So there are two animes which I watched. One is One Punch Man. Season 2 released last year, so I was really waiting to watch Season 2 of One Punch Man, and I really enjoyed that. So the second anime is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So if you are an anime fan, I think you would have already watched this show. And if you are not an anime fan, if you want to start somewhere, I think I will highly recommend starting from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This show is about, it has drama, sci-fi, politics, and it talks about a whole lot of things. And after this show, I think I really wanted to explore a lot of animes. If you haven't started with anime, I think I highly recommend you start from this, and you will definitely get hooked to it. Books. So I've managed to read 20 books last year. I actually had a target of reading 32 books, but unfortunately I was unable to read 32 books, but managed to read only 20. And it also has a combination of novels, short stories, even comic books. So barring all of that, I just want to talk about 3 interesting and important books of last year. And I think everyone must definitely check out these 3 books. So the first one is Dangling Gandhi. It is written by Jayanti Shankar. She is a Singaporean based Tamil person. And this book has stories of migrant laborers and about the working class people who are suffering in Singapore. And there are lots of stories about them. There are stories about migrants in Singapore and working class people in India. So there are a few stories which are really gut wrenching. You will feel sad that something like this is happening to people. So that is a kind of impact this book has created on me. So although I started reading this book in 2019, I finished reading this only towards the end of January last year. So I think I still can count this as the book which I read last year. Even though if not, I think I highly recommend reading this book. I think it is available on Amazon. You should definitely check this book out. And the second book I want to talk about is Waiting for a Visa by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It is an autobiography of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It has 6 stories. It is a very short book. I think this book has somewhere around 27 pages, not more than that. They are actually not fictional stories, but stories from the time Ambedkar lived, and these are the stories of untouchability. If you want to know the evils of caste system, I think you should definitely start reading from here, because this you cannot if you cannot simply say that these incidents happened a long time ago, but these are the incidents still happen right now, and untouchability is still being practiced by many upper caste people. And I think it is time we started calling all these nonsense out. And if you want to understand the first-hand experience of an untouchable, you should start from Waiting for My Visa. And it is available on Kindle. You can read as a Kindle book, or you can just buy it. I think this book costed me some 30-40 bucks, 30-40 rupees. I think you can buy this book and start reading it. And you should also start reading a lot of Ambedkar book to understand what has caste system done to India, what are the bad things, what are the evils of the caste system. And I've also written a detailed review about this book. You can check out the link in the description below. The third book I want to talk about is Myths and Millennials by Bakmini Janaki. This book, why I want everyone to read this book is, so she tried to talk about 13 myths which oppresses women in the form of religion, caste, culture and whatnot. So she took all these 13 myths and tried to break that down for everyone. Some might agree, some might not agree, but after reading the book, when I just checked out the reviews from various women, they said the book was very much relatable. So the book was, this was something that they wanted to read for a very long time. They wanted to hear from, another woman, and that talks everything about this book. So I think it is also available on, the book is also available on Amazon. You should definitely buy this book and read this out to understand what are the issues women are facing on a daily life. That is, again, it is a first-hand account from a woman, not written by a man. And you should not go lecture to women what they should do and what they should not do. They are grown up, they have as much as brain cells as men, and they can think on their own. So this is what I want to talk about. So these are the three interesting and important books which I really want to talk about, which I read last year. These are some of the shows, TV shows, movies, anime and books I watched and read last year. So what are some interesting movies? What were your favorite movies of last year? What were your favorite shows and books of last year? So do put them in the comment section and let's discuss there further. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you have any comments or suggestions, please do leave them in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to improve myself. And yes, there is a lot of room for growth and I will definitely work towards that. If you like the video, please do share to your friends, please do like the video and also do subscribe to Chennaikaaran YouTube channel. So until next video, this is Pradeep signing off. Bye.